what do these tier levels mean? Does this mean I'm going to come up in 2 hours? Is it going to mean I'm going to come up in one day? What, depending on what tier level, where am I at in this, recovery order?
We have new leadership that would like to do more in the disaster recovery space, especially in having and kind of planning and executing end-to-end exercises and establishing tiers based on what technology needs to come up first, what technology needs to come up second and third, et cetera. We're just kind of starting to build these tiers, so to speak. I mean, we have business continuity data, as I mentioned, but I'm curious what other organizations are doing in this area and how you go about building those tiers.
So we have about 1,500 applications. We have taken all those applications and assigned tier levels to them. So our tier levels go from 0 to 5, and our 0 level, which is the highest level, is actually reserved for infrastructure. So networks, servers, any of that stuff that has to be up for the systems to actually run, those are tier 0. And then the applications start at 1 to 5, 1 being the highest. A tier 1 has to come up first. And we go down to a tier 5, which, a tier 5 really doesn't really need DR. And we have some applications that they're okay if they're down for a month. We work with the business owners on each of the applications and work with them to go through the BIAs. And we also create run books for the recovery of each of these applications. But we start with the BIAs to get an assessment of what is this application all about? How critical is it to revenue generation, those kinds of things. And then we assign tier levels based on those questions.
Do you also have data like RTO, RPO, and does that?
Oh yeah, it's part of the BIA.
Into the
Yeah,
tiers?
we collect RTO, RPO. The BIA has a lot of information on it, but RTO and RPO is just one of the segments. Are you doing anything like that now? Or are you just starting with this?
Yeah, we have documentation for recovery time and recovery procedures and whatnot. So I think we have pretty robust documentation for that. We just haven't set up tiers as kind of to be visible, kind of like you were saying, and we haven't kind of worked with all the application owners to establish what tiers should they be in. So
right.
that information is helpful.
And one of the things you need to share with the general population in your company is, what do these tier levels mean? Does this mean I'm going to come up in 2 hours? Is it going to mean I'm going to come up in one day? What, depending on what tier level, where am I at in this, recovery order? Because the users are completely unaware of what it is we do in DR. And, they just know things are down and they call to bring it back up and they have no idea what's going to happen then.
From the BIA that we do on an annual basis, and I have my divisions and areas fill out the BIA. They update their processes. They just provide us what they think their RTOs and RPOs are. From there, I identify the applications, the systems that are needed. And then we also try to identify the critical business functions. And then we propose that to the senior leadership. So it goes all the way up to the C-suite to say what is important for the business. Once we get the approved list of critical business functions and application systems, I go back to those areas and then I interview them when we walk through their business continuity plan and all their processes to identify any gaps we might have missed during those reviews. Doing those interviews with those business areas helps provide more education, provides ownership for the C-suite, provides us guidance, and then for them to identify, are there any workarounds? Do they really need this? So that's kind of where we get our guidance from for our tiers. Tier 0 for us is always our foundational services. That's going to be your network and everything else that you need to start bringing things up.